Only we lived in a world without boundaries. Sorry, we're playing Batman Arkham Origins next. Uh, Whatever. Nobody cares about the announcements. What I'm really here to talk about is the Ace Combat series. Obviously, having gone through the primary games, and at this point, probably all the games we're going to be covering going forward, I don't really have much else to share, but I thought I'd give like a bit of a summarized section here. Ace Combat 4 was a nice first game, which did a lot wrong, but at the same time did a lot right. Ace Combat 5 tried more things and failed at more things. Ace Combat 0 nailed it, and Ace Combat 7 was Ace Combat 5 again. No, I don't mean the constant member barriers. I mean, literally, Ace Combat 7 tried more things and failed at more things. So, not really a surprise. I will say this. I am looking forward to the potential of an Ace Combat 8. Now, I know what you're thinking. Potential? They've already announced it. Yeah, like 3 years ago. With extraordinarily... I think it was actually 2 years ago. With no word since then. Like, it's been off the map since last year. So, sure. Maybe it'll come out. And maybe they'll try to microtransaction to hell and back, just like they did with Infinity. Anyways. Point being. I like the franchise. Thumbs up. That's what you want out of a review, right? Is a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I've noticed that. The golden number system is, at its very core, kind of the antithesis to the idea of the thumbs up or the thumbs down. But if you do want a thumbs up or thumbs down, it still exists there, because if it's above 0, it's a thumbs up. And if it's below 0, it's a thumbs down. And there you go. But I was thinking about it a little bit. Obviously, all reviews are subjective, right? Like obviously there are some objective things we could point out, like the crash issues we had, but that'll probably come in Arkham Origins as well. But regardless of objective stuff, reviews are subjective. And the vibe I kept getting is that even though I enjoy those kind of arcadey flight sims, TIE Fighter, right? Apparently, I'm just not in the same headspace as the actual Ace Combat fans, and no judgment. But it brings up one of those things I run into every now and again when it comes to my reviews, is, to simplify it excessively, alright, so I'm giving a plus to this game because it has apples in it. When the entire actual fan base of the game are like, oh, we hate this game because it has apples in it. And the problem I keep running into philosophically is I can't change or do anything about this. I can't change my opinion because I do have my opinion. I like the apples, we're cool. Or conversely, maybe I don't like the apples. And the fan base is like, and just thinks the opposite. And that's fine. But something I've been asked several times in several reviews before is to say, well, no, I'm not going to give a negative or a positive for apples because they like apples or dislike apples. And I can't really do that. I can't lie about it, right? And I can't just hand wave it away. I absolutely accept feedback from people, and Lord knows that tons and tons of people have changed my opinion on a lot of things when it comes to the reviews over the years. As I've said many times, we have built the review system, not just me. But at a certain point, I'm just like, but I like apples. And so, for example, people kept talking about Project Wingman. But near as I can tell, Project Wingman is a whole lot of what I don't like about the Ace Combat series. A lot of boring, empty missions where you just fly around gathering points. Which is what I'm told people really like about the Ace Combat series. One of my least favorite missions in 7 is the one where you're flying around on the ocean, just blowing up stuff. Not my least favorite, but like probably my second least favorite. Because I was just kind of bored the entire time. I like the gimmick missions. Well, some of them. And, well, that's the shtick, isn't it? I tend to like gimmick stuff. Or rather, I tend to like good gimmicks. Not all the gimmicks in 7 were actually well executed. But I tend to like good gimmicky bosses or levels or whatever in any video game, but especially this kind of a flight sim. So I was with that, and apparently that's the stuff that everybody hates when it comes to Ace Combat 7. You see the problem. It's just interesting to think about, and it's something that kind of stuck with me, because there's not a lot I can do about that. Like I said, I can't lie. I will admit, I've always wanted to do the review thing. This is the other thought I had. Just the reviews and concepts. Some of you probably don't know this, but when I very first started doing this show, before Ruminations, before lore runs, before anything, one of the first things I did was reviews. They were crap reviews. They were just talking head, like the worst production values in the world, and the least charismatic person in the entire universe. But they were still reviews, because I've always wanted that. I'm kind of a hard data. kind of a person, right? I don't like to look at something and say thumbs up or thumbs down. I like to look at something and say, here's the exact specific statistics on the thing, and be able to enumerate that in a way. That's what the golden number is a way to try and tally up all the things I care about when it comes to a game. Gameplay, story, relationship between gameplay and story, variance between gameplay and story, density of gameplay and story, how long it maintains that density throughout its course of time. I think that's everything. But, you know, I like to have a more nuanced opinion, for lack of a better way to put it. That's why I always hesitate when someone says, what do you think about such and such? And I'm like, well, I haven't reviewed it, so I'm not sure. Because I'm not. I've been criticized for that a lot, even by friends. And that's fine. But I do stand by it. I do stand by my overall opinion and perspective and philosophy. And I was just kind of curious of your thoughts on the matter, right? Because I'm just kind of an organized guy. I'm a spreadsheet kind of a guy, right? And so I tend to prefer this kind of enumerated data rather than a vague inference. And no judgment, as usual. If someone just wants to say thumbs up or thumbs down, that's fine. But not for me. It's just interesting because at the time I assumed nobody was interested in reviews, and the truth was just that nobody was interested in some boring dumbass who had too long a hair just yammering on a camera by himself in a freaking cube farm. Anyways, I guess I'm just rambling at this point. So yeah, Arkham. We're doing Arkham Origins, which I've never played before. After that, we'll be doing an audit run of Arkham City. So that should be fun. Either way, I hope to see you all next time.